Hello and welcome to Middle Eastern Thursdays. So today, guys, it is all about vacation fragrances. I have pulled a total of 17 fragrances from my collection that I believe are totally perfect for your upcoming vacations. These fragrances are 10 out of 10, which means that not only do they smell incredible, but they perform impeccably. They're not really beast mode, at least not most of them, because we are talking about warm weather vacations. In picking these fragrances, I also considered what is the vacation type? What type of vacation are you going on? I also considered what is the vibe of your vacation? What is the feel that you're looking to have during your vacation? And last but not least, what are the different occasions that you're expecting during your vacation? So are you going on excursions? Are you going touring? Is it just a spa type of vacation where you're just sitting around and enjoying different treatments all day? So yes, what are the different occasions? But before we jump right in, if this is your first time here, I'm Arahi, and in this channel we love to talk about fragrances because we love to smell fabulous at all times. I upload videos on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Sundays, and some weeks you even get a bonus video. If that sounds like the type of content that you're interested in and like a good plan, then please consider subscribing, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget, leave a comment. Let's go. All right, so before we get started with the fragrances, I just wanted to share with you how we're going to work this today. So I'm going to, of course, introduce the fragrance that I'm going to be speaking about, and then I'm going to share with you what types of vacation I think that specific fragrance is suitable for. So I'm not doing a full review of each of these fragrances because we could be here forever, and all of these fragrances have actually been reviewed on the channel in previous videos. So in speaking about different types of vacation, the first one that I'm going to consider is a staycation. So a staycation, of course, is when you have taken time off from work or you've just decided to take time off, but you're not really traveling anywhere. You've decided to just spend some quality time at home. So I will definitely be sharing some fragrances that are suitable for that. The second type of vacation would be a spa vacation. So this is a vacation where, of course, you're going away and you will be staying at a spa. Now, for that type of vacation, of course, it is very important that you select the right fragrance because spas are designed to be a place where you are probably going to be around other people, not all the time, but especially if you're waiting for a treatment, you're going to be around other people and you don't want to wear a fragrance that's going to choke them or be too overpowering or just obnoxious around others. So then there's tropical and remote vacations. Those are vacations, of course, that include resort vacations, but it's just any vacation where you are planning to be in a tropical setting. So there may be some humidity, it may be very, very hot. We want to make sure that we pick fragrances that are fresh for that type of vacation and that consider the fact that there may be humidity and, of course, very warm weather. Then there's the cruise vacation. So a little bit like the spa vacation, on the cruise vacation, you are going to be in close proximity to a great number of people most of the time. Whether you go on an excursion or whether you're on the ship and you're just, involved in some sort of activity, you are bound to be around others. So we want to make sure that we select fragrances that, again, will not choke anybody and will not overwhelm or come across as obnoxious. Then there's the cultural tour and sightseeing vacations. So these are vacations where you're probably going to a different region or a different country that you've never been to before, and you're going to be doing quite a bit of touring. So depending on the region, it could be really hot or it could just be very pleasantly warm. But nonetheless, we want to make sure that we prepare you with the right fragrances where you'll wear it all day, and of course they will perform well, but they will also make you feel good, but they will also not be obnoxious to your tour guide or others that may be in your party. Then there's the road trip vacation. And this one is an interesting one because typically when we go on a road trip, we do it with either family or friends or both. So we are going to be in a vehicle of some sort for a very long period of time. So we want to make sure that we pick the right fragrance, again, to just be careful and also to consider the different types of conditions, whether it's going to be very hot, whether it's going to be a bit more milder weather. You just want to make sure that you have the right fragrance for that type of vacation. So the first thing is, I don't recommend that you bring a full bottle of a fragrance with you on any vacation, whether it's a road trip or one where you have to go on a plane. I just don't think that that's a good idea. Yes, of course, if you're going on a plane, there are limits to what they'll allow you to bring as a carry-on. But I also think that it's not a good idea to take a full bottle of your fragrance and put it in your luggage. That's just not something I recommend. What I do think you need to do is take your fragrance and prepare yourself a decant. And it is so simple, guys. Select the fragrances that you think you're interested in taking with you. Buy, if you don't have one already, a decant kit and prepare your decants. So when it comes to preparing decants for your vacation, I recommend that you get yourself a kit such as this one. And of course, I will have it in the description box. I will be providing you with a link. So this is a kit, and it's a kit from TEKSON. And it's just a very good kit. So all you're going to do is lift this piece off, and then you're going to take this little part that comes with the kit. And as you can see, it has like a little opening, and then you're going to put it in the little chamber that you're going to see under this cap, and then you're just going to pump it down. And as you pump it down through this little extended receptacle that looks like a straw, you'll be able to put that in the little perfume bottle that's included in the kit, and you'll see the fragrance as it transitions from this bottle to your decant. It is a very simple process. I'm sure you will not have any trouble with it. So you're going to prepare your decant, and the kit also brings this little pouch. But since we are all fragrance lovers, I know that one little pouch is not going to be enough for you. So I have two solutions. I'm going to be very honest with you. I don't buy pouches or anything else to really bring my fragrance decants, because I just use any little pouch that has been given to me, you know, whether I received a makeup product, and you know how they send samples and they send the samples in a pouch. So for example, I placed an order for some Mind Games fragrances, right? And this is the pouch in which they sent me some samples. So I will take this pouch and I will just pack all of my decants in it. So you can either use a pouch that you've received when you've made a purchase of a beauty product of any type, or any pouch that you have at home, or a Ziploc sandwich bag. But if you want something a bit more sophisticated, then I recommend this product. But if you know that you're going on a very extended vacation and you're bringing more than 3 of these little perfume bottles, I would really recommend that maybe you consider picking up that specific item that I just shared with you, because if you notice, it does have a specific space for each one of your decants. And of course, it's, you know, padded and it's very protected. I also do recommend that you do pick it up and use it if you are traveling internationally and you are planning to not carry your decants with you. All right, so the first fragrance that I want to share with you is Min YASHBAHAK. This fragrance is just perfection, guys, for those vacations that I just shared with you. This fragrance has an incredible mango note. There's a tropical vibe to this fragrance. Of course, it is sweet. There's some pineapple, there's some lychee. It's a musky fragrance, but The musk does not translate to any kind of animalic quality to it. It is beautiful. It is floral also. It has a beautiful peony. Oh my goodness. But the fruits here have been done beautifully. This is one that you can really get away with using for those occasions that I just shared. The next fragrance that I want to share with you, of course, is Vibrant Orange and Neroli. Now, you guys knew that this fragrance had to be in this list because this is just perfection. The way that the Neroli has been done here, I have to say that before finding this fragrance, I would have never considered the note of neroli or orange blossom in any summer fragrance. But this fragrance has totally changed my mind. It is such an incredibly beautiful fragrance, and the way that they have combined the orange and the neroli together, oh my goodness, this is definitely a fragrance that you really should consider when going on vacation. The next fragrance that I want to share with you is TASKEEN Marina. Now, I've talked about this fragrance here on the channel on multiple occasions, and when I've done so, I've described it as summer in a bottle. This fragrance is just perfection, perfection to bring on your summer vacation, especially for those occasions or types of vacation that I just shared with you. There's some grapefruit here, there's some peach, there's some lily of the valley, and it's definitely a musky fragrance. But the beauty of this fragrance is that although it has those fruits and it has some florals, it is definitely a fresh kind of fragrance without being really a freshie. It's just very interesting. I tell you, if you're going on a vacation where you're expecting to have really, really hot weather, this fragrance is perfection for during the day or during the night in that type of weather. The next fragrance that I want to share with you is HAYA. Now, HAYA is a fragrance that for those types of vacations that I just shared with you, she is perfect. I have to be honest with you, I never expected to really fall in love with this fragrance as much as I have. And I just think it's perfect for the spring and summer seasons, but most specifically for vacations where you're going to encounter warm weather. This is definitely a white florals fragrance. But although it's a white florals fragrance, those white florals have been done exquisitely because they're not overpowering or screechy or overwhelming in any kind of way. As you know, some white florals can end up giving you a headache, and that's the last thing we want while on vacation. This fragrance is also very citrusy. It has like a fresh opening almost, and it's also a bit sweet, and of course it is very fruity even with the white florals. But the best part of this fragrance is that there's like a fizzy quality to it courtesy of the note of champagne. So this fragrance is just, when I tell you, perfection for those specific vacations that I just shared with you. And when it comes to occasions, this is not one that I would wear, to the beach or anything like that. It is definitely for at the end of the day when you're just going, let's say you're going to the town to do some shopping or just going touring on a town setting. This fragrance is just perfection. Or if you're going for an early dinner or anything like that, even for a late dinner, this fragrance is just perfect. So the next fragrance also will not come as a surprise to you, as I have talked about this fragrance so much on the channel, and I'm speaking about VETIVER Delight. So this fragrance is, as the name calls it, definitely a delight, guys. This fragrance is, to me, just perfect. Perfect. Oh my goodness. Perfect for vacations. The opening is citrusy because there's some, if I remember correctly, some lemon, some Amalfi lemon, and I think there's also some bergamot, at least I'm picking it up. And of course, as the name says it, this is a vetiver-based fragrance. But I think that, at least for me, what I love about this fragrance is the combination of those citrusy notes and then a beautiful violet. If you are a violet lover, I highly recommend, if you haven't already, that you get your nose on this one, because this is absolute perfection for a vacation. So the next fragrance that I want to share with you is one that I've also talked about here on the channel. And this is a fragrance that, I tell you, for me, this is true perfection. And I am speaking about REMAS. So REMAS has quickly become one of my favorite mango note fragrances in my entire collection, to include Western niche designer and Eastern or Middle Eastern fragrances. This fragrance is just unbelievable. The mango here is just done so exquisitely. Please let us know if you ended up picking up REMAS and how you feel about it, because when I tell you, this mango note is absolutely exquisite, and this fragrance is absolute perfection for those vacations that I just shared with you. The next fragrance that I want to share with you is a fragrance that, when I first brought it to the channel, I just absolutely lost my mind talking about it, because it is so incredible. And I am speaking about ASAD ZANZIBAR. Now, if you are a violet and iris fragrances lover and you still haven't gotten your nose on this fragrance, I really don't know what you're waiting for, because this is unbelievable. So they've taken iris and violet and they've combined it with a creamy coconut note, and then added a ton of vanilla to the mix, amongst other notes. But when I tell you that the dominant notes to my nose here, oh my goodness, this is so good, guys. That violet and that coconut, and then the way that they've done the vanilla here, this is just exceptional. I mean, this fragrance could compete with the best of the very best of my Western niche fragrances. So the next fragrance that I have for you is one that also, of course, is not going to come as a surprise. As a matter of fact, you know what? None of these 17 fragrances today will be a surprise to you, because I've talked and reviewed all of them here on the channel. And oh my goodness, but this one is, of course, Mango Punch. Oh, this fragrance, guys. Oh my goodness. This fragrance has mango, gardenia, a little bit of iris, vanilla, and I'm picking up black currant. This fragrance is just unbelievable. But I am going to warn you, if you are looking for a juicy, a ripe, juicy, sweet type of mango, this is not necessarily what this fragrance is about. This is more about that mango that's a little bit green, and you actually taste or you sniff the skin. That's what you're going to get in this fragrance. The next fragrance, I'm not even going to spend a lot of time on, because we have really discussed this one and you guys know how I feel about it. And I am speaking about Expressions 4. This fragrance, guys, oh my goodness. This is the ultimate citrusy goodness. So a couple of fam members have reached out to me via DM on Instagram to ask me what fragrances to bring on their vacations, which is really what made me do this video earlier rather than later in the season. And I always recommend this fragrance, because this fragrance is just perfection for your vacation. This is truly a freshie to me, but with a different take, because typically when we talk about freshies, we're talking about the notes of bergamot and lemon, limoncello, things like that, right? But this one is all about orange and tangerine. It is just a beautiful fragrance and it performs exquisitely. I think that this is a fragrance that if you haven't tried and you're looking for a good summer fragrance, you should definitely get your nose on it, because I promise you, you are going to love it. The next fragrance that I have for you is one that I just reviewed on the channel, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. And you guys know how I am absolutely in love with this fragrance. And I am speaking about Swiss Arabian's Amber and Apricot. So we have amber and apricot, and then there's also jasmine and honey. And it was hard for me to pick one of the two, but I didn't want to bring two from the same, fragrance house and then to top it all off from the same collection. So I picked amber and apricot because when I tell you the realistic apricot in this fragrance is just unprecedented in my opinion. This is absolutely exquisite and a perfect fragrance for your vacation. The next fragrance that I have for you is one that most of the fam already has, and you guys know how I feel about it. So we're gonna go quickly through this one. And I am speaking about Pear Potion. Now, Pear Potion, guys, oh my goodness, what can I say? I am really just looking forward to the real hot summer months because this is going to be a fragrance that I'm going to be using quite a bit, not just on its own, but also like layering. Oh, my goodness. And in the next layering video, I will be giving you plenty of layering ideas with Pear Potion because I didn't include it in the last layering video because of course it was out of stock. But now that most of you have it, oh yes. This fragrance is just incredible. What I really, really love about this fragrance is that it is a sweet fragrance and it is all about the pear. Believe me, it is all about a very real, ripe, juicy pear. But at that, it's not too much. It's not like too sweet or cloying. There's even like a touch of freshness to it. I just absolutely love it. The next fragrance is a recent discovery for me, but guys, I had to include it because this fragrance is just unbelievable for vacations. And I am speaking about Atlantis Coral. So this fragrance is quite citrusy. It is also sweet. But what I absolutely love about this fragrance is the way that they've done the yellow florals. It is just unbelievable. And then in doing those florals, they're like done just right because the fragrance is also fresh and a tad spicy. Oh, this fragrance is just a delight. I just shared it recently with you guys. Please let us know if you picked it up and how you feel about it. The next fragrance that I want to share with you is a fragrance that I've had in my collection for quite a long time. Even before I decided to go deep into the Middle Eastern fragrances journey, I was aware of this fragrance and I absolutely love it. And it's one that it doesn't matter what vacation I go on, it always comes with me because it is just perfection. And I am speaking about Rossasi's Jasmine Wisp. Okay, if you haven't gotten your nose on this fragrance, please, you must get your nose on it because this is the ultimate perfection fragrance. Oh my goodness, this is like a 20 out of 10. This fragrance has passion fruit, it has peach, it has some coconut. Oh my goodness, it has a lot of jasmine, of course, but the jasmine, curiously enough, you can definitely pick up on the jasmine, but it's balanced with all the other notes. And that coconut at the base, you're gonna get like that creamy coconut with that vanilla and that passion fruit and some peach. And then the backdrop of it all is that jasmine because, oh my goodness, it is done exquisitely. This fragrance is absolute perfection. If you have this fragrance, please let us know your thoughts on it. So the next fragrance is a fragrance that I'm not going to spend a lot of time on because I've discussed it on the channel multiple times and it hasn't even been in my collection that long. But when it first came into my life, it made such an impression. And right now, it's one of my top 2 favorite freshies for the upcoming season. And I'm speaking about Swiss Arabian's SHAGHAF Men. So this fragrance, of course, is a freshie, but what marks a difference, oh my goodness, is that the C notes here have been done to perfection. You are literally going to immediately feel like you're on a summer vacation. And the lavender here is, of course, one of the stars for me because, not because it's dominant, but the way that they've done the lavender, you know, it's like all of the notes in this fragrance have blended so beautifully with that continuous backdrop of those C notes, which are just perfection. So the next fragrance that I have for you is SHAGHAF Oud AHMAR. So this fragrance, guys, oh my goodness. This fragrance is very fruity. So you have to love a fruity fragrance. And of course it is sweet, but it has like an aquatic quality to it that I absolutely love and makes it perfect for a vacation season. It is just incredible. And then it has a good amount of vanilla. Like the vanilla is definitely present, but at no point does it become cloying. So this is definitely a fragrance that you can pull off during very, very warm weather. Let me know if you've gotten your nose on it and your thought, but I think that this is really, really perfect. But the curious thing about it is that it does have a powdery dry down, but even though it has that powdery dry down and then add to that the fruitiness, which is quite a bit of fruitiness, and then it's sweet, and then it has all of that vanilla. Even though all of those factors are in place, this fragrance is still not cloying and it is perfect for a vacation. So the next fragrance that I have for you is a fragrance that is a part of a collection that I just reviewed here on the channel. So if you want more details, just check out that video. And I am speaking about L'Adventure Fresh. And guys, just like the name says it, this fragrance is the ultimate freshie. Oh my goodness. This is so, so beautiful. So this is the second fragrance. You know, when I shared SHAGHAF Men, and I told you that I have two freshies that I'm absolutely loving, this is the second one. And between, you know, the SHAGHAF Men and this one, I don't know which one I'm preferring because there are bits of differences. I mean, they're both freshies, but they both give you the same feel, and they're both freshies, but there's something different about each. I just absolutely love them. If you haven't gotten your nose on this one, you should really try it if you're looking for the perfect freshie and you want more than just one. But I think you can't go wrong with any of these two. So the next fragrance that I have for you is Sunrise Killer Oud. Oh my goodness, guys, this fragrance. So this fragrance is supposed to be inspired by Amouage Sunshine Man, right? But this fragrance, although it was supposedly designed to be more masculine, to me, this is perfectly unisex. And, you know, it's also designated as a freshie, but to me, this is not necessarily a freshie. This is like a perfect fragrance for any occasion, but most specifically, I think this is perfection for a vacation. And as you noted, all vacations are applicable in my opinion, because this fragrance is almost like signature worthy during the spring and summer seasons in my opinion. All right, guys, so we've reached the end of today's video, and I hope that I was able to bring you enough recommendations and suggestions for you to decide which fragrances you want to take on your vacation. Remember that if you have any questions, you can just leave it in the comment section and I will definitely get back to you. Let me know what fragrances you're planning to bring on your vacation this year. Thanks so much for hanging with me as usual, and I will see you in the next video.